Hey, what's up, guys? Trent Shelton here. I'm glad you guys are joining me. Hopefully, you guys are doing incredible things. Hopefully, you guys are winning some championships in your life moving forward. And I just want to take this time to remind you guys um, of the transformation challenge. You guys are doing incredible things. Hopefully, you guys are winning some championships in your life moving forward. And I just want to take this time to remind you guys. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. I had a little lag in the back. But I just want to remind you guys of the transformation challenge. Make sure you guys are sticking to that, man. It's already August. We're well over halfway done with the year. And I just want to tell you guys that it's never too late. It's never too late to accomplish your goals. Thank you for the course. I hope you guys enjoyed the course. I hope you guys applied the course, and I hope you guys, man, are living the best life you can live. Anytime with me, we're going to be here for about 45 minutes together. So go ahead and get comfortable. But anytime that I speak, anytime that I give advice or I teach, I want you guys to know that I'm not telling you how to live life. All right? I'm not telling you if you do this, your life will be like this. If you do this, then your life will change. I'm just giving you things that work for my life, that I have applied to my life, that I've been through. I just want to share my story, share my struggles, share my testimony with you guys, and hopefully you guys can take something from that and apply it to your life. That's why I do it. So I just want to get that out there. I'm not some guru that's telling you this is how you're supposed to do things. All right. So in these 4 hangouts, we're going to talk about some topics, and hopefully it'll help you out a little bit. We're going to answer some questions at the end. We're going to do a little Q&A, and hopefully it'll really help your life. So let's go ahead and get started. As you guys already know, this session is about learning how to manage your time, right? Learn how to stay focused on winning your championships. Learn how to stay focused on your vision, on your goals, on becoming a better you, whatever it may be. And we know, at least for myself, managing time was very hard for me throughout my whole life. I always caught myself in procrastination. I always caught myself living an incomplete life. And that's one of my biggest fears, if you guys don't know, is, dying with a lot of incompletions in my life. And so I told myself, man, I got to stop procrastinating with my life. I have to take advantage of the time that I'm giving, because tomorrow is not promised. And I want to make sure I win today. I want to make sure that I win my championships every single day. I want to make sure that I progress in my life. I want to make sure that I grow. And so these 10 tips, all right, that we're going to talk about today really transform my life, really help me manage my day, really help me value my time, really help me win championships, really help me go from having a vision to making it reality. All right. Really helped me from just dreaming it to actually living it. Okay. It's because I focused on what I knew God put in my heart for me to be. Was it hard? Yes. Was it impossible? No. All right. So I'm going to talk about 10 little tips that hopefully can help you. I don't know your situation. I don't know how many hours you work. I don't know if you work for yourself. So I don't know your situation. So when I came up with these 10 tips, extracting it from my life, I said, well, I don't want to give somebody a routine based off of if they are working a 9 to 5, whatever. I want to give somebody something that no matter what, all right, no matter what your circumstances are, you can apply these things to your life, and it will help you get the most out of your day, okay? So let's go ahead and get started here. And make sure you write these down, all right? Make sure you write these down and evaluate it with your life. Don't just listen to them, all right? Don't just let it go through one and out the other. Don't just listen. All right, really think about how you can apply it to your life. So number one, one thing that I do every single night, especially on Sundays. Sundays is more lengthy because I prepare for the whole week, but I do it every single night, is I create a game plan. All right. And as you guys know, with championship mode, I always tell you guys, every day is game day. And I remember playing sports, sports my whole entire life, but especially football, especially when I got to the NFL. The coaches were were very particular on their game plan. And, me knowing now, I understand why. It was a lot deeper than what I thought at the time. I thought it was just about the other opponents, whatever it may be. But what it's about is putting that player or that offense or that defense in the best position. All right. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but putting that player or that team, whatever it may be, offense, defense, in the best position to hopefully win the game. With your life is the exact same thing. Every day should be game day for you, especially when you have something inside of you that you want to give to the world. You have a dream, you have a vision that you want to reach, that you want to live. So every day is your game. So my question to you is, how are you preparing for it? How are you preparing for it? For so long in my life, I went into every single day blindfolded. I didn't have preparation for the day. I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have a map or anything. And it's like if you were trying to get to a destination without a map or without Siri or however you find your directions, and you've never been to that place before, more than likely you would get lost. You would get lost because, you have no direction. And when I evaluated my own life, that's what was happening to me with my goals and my visions and my dreams and what I wanted to do in my life. I would just go into the day saying, okay, well, when tomorrow comes, I'll see what tomorrow offers instead of preparing myself to conquer tomorrow, right? I'll just go in there blindly. And so many of us, we do that, right? We just go into every single day just taking what the world gives us instead of us actually buckling down and giving what God has placed on our hearts to the world. Okay, so my question to you right now would be, what does your game plan look like? It's Sunday night right now. What does your game plan look like for tomorrow? What does your game plan look like for this week? We're not going to talk about a month. We're not going to talk about a year. Let's just focus on tomorrow. What does your game plan look like for tomorrow? Right? What does it look like? What are you going to do? How are you going to feel? Who are you going to talk to? What goals are you going to accomplish? What obstacles might you face? How are you going to overcome those obstacles? These are questions that you ask yourself, right? When you're preparing yourself for your big day, when you're preparing yourself to win your championships. Create a game plan, all right? It doesn't have to be some extensive game plan. However you can relate to it. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it because it's different for everybody. But create a game plan. Come up with something that puts you in the best position to conquer your tomorrows, all right? So number one is create a game plan. Number two, and this is no particular order, okay? I just, I wrote them down as they were coming to my mind. I was like, okay, well, let me write these down. So it's no particular order. But number two is learn how to say no. All right, when managing your time, and I know you have a good heart, a big heart, right? You always want to say yes to everybody. Trust me, I'm that person. But a lot of times when you're saying yes to everybody, you're saying no to yourself. You're saying no to your vision. You're saying no to the things that you want to get accomplished. You got to learn how to say no. You really do if you want to get to your yes. Because if you're spending all this time, valuable time, every single day, stretching yourself thin, you're there, you're this place, you're being a slave to request. All right, when you become a slave to request, then really you're abandoning yourself. So if it's not moving you forward, if it's not making you better, learn how to say no. And sometimes you got to say no to people that you love, to things that you like to do. But when you sit down and evaluate it, those things aren't moving you closer to where you want to be. I say no more than I say yes these days, because if I said yes to everything, I wouldn't be able to live my life. So I have to say no. And it's like when we only have 24 hours in a day, and I mean, we don't work the whole 24 hours, right? So we only have about maybe 7, 8 hours probably that we work in a day. Some less, some more, just depending on your mindset and what you got going on with your life. But if you're spending all those hours doing things for other people, spreading yourself thin, being a slave to those requests, when are you going to work on you? When is it your time to grow? When is it your time to progress? That would be the question I asked you. All right, so learn how to say no sometimes, man. It really help you with your time because you got to stay focused. All right, so number 1 is create a game plan. Number 2 is learn how to say no. All right, number 3, no cheating. Learn how to put your phone down. It's not about, I have a little saying. I always tell people that it's not about the hours in a day. It's about the work that you put in those hours. You could say that tomorrow part of your game plan might be, hey, I'm going to work on my book. I'm going to work on my vision. I'm going to work on a movie. I'm going to, whatever it may be for you. But while you're working, every 10 minutes, you're on your phone, right? You're checking Instagram. You're scrolling, checking social media, making phone calls, texting people back. You might have spent an hour in front of you in your desk. But how much work did you put in that hour while you was there that was really beneficial to your life, really beneficial to your vision, really beneficial to where you want to go with your life? I see it all the time. And I've been that person. And when I get like that at times, you know what I do? I check myself real quick and I put it down. I don't even bring my phone unless it's an emergency, unless my family's not around. I know my phone needs to be where I'm at. But I'll leave my phone in a whole different room because I don't want the urge to pick up my phone, because you got to realize something. Even the smallest thing, right? Even the smallest thing can break your focus, can break your mind. So you might see something on there and it catches your attention. And you spend the next hour, right, surfing the internet or scrolling with your fingers or reading an article, whatever it may be. And now you just lost time. The time that you had scheduled, planned to work on your goals, to work on your vision. So when you're working on something, don't cheat on what you're working on. Stay loyal to your vision. Stay loyal to your work. Stay loyal to your game plan. Stay loyal to that routine that you set in place. All right, make time for your phone. Make time for it throughout the day. All right, maybe it's checking emails in the morning. Maybe it's making certain phone calls throughout the day. Make time for that. I'm not telling you just to throw away your phone, right? I'm not telling you that, but make time for it. Schedule a time to make time for phone calls, to make time to get on Twitter, to make time to get on Instagram, right? Make time for that. My time is not when I first wake up, but early in the morning for about 5 minutes. I get on there and make my post. You guys know it because you guys follow me. Usually around 7 o'clock. And then I might get on there around lunch if I have time. But then I get on there at night when I'm through with my day. All right, because I understand that I only have a limited amount of time to actually accomplish some things, actually to reach my goals that I set. And scrolling, right, looking at your phone, that's not going to make you live your vision. I can tell you right now. All right, so stop cheating. Learn how to put your phone down. That's number 3. Number 4 is I would encourage you to develop a routine. And let me rephrase that. Develop a healthy routine. All right, a healthy routine, something that you can be comfortable with, right? And I'm not talking about in a way of comfortability where, it doesn't light you on fire anymore, or it takes the passion out of it. I'm not talking about that, but talking about a routine that your body, your mind knows that it's game time. I don't know if you guys follow me on Snapchat, but I showed you one of my routines that I do, when I wake up every single morning. I thank God Then I go outside and I dunk a basketball. People say, why do you dunk a basketball? Because that's my little thing of accomplishment. I know if I can dunk a basketball, the power that it gives me. I don't know if you ever dunked before, but for me, it gives me power. It gives me certainty. I just knew that I accomplished something. I succeeded at something. So for me, that becomes contagious. So that's a part of my daily routine. In the morning, I know when I first wake up, and I'm not telling you how to live your life, develop a routine that works for you. Maybe this will work for you. But I know in the morning, I do my hardest work, right? When my mind is fresh. I do my hardest work, my hardest tasks, right? In my game plan that I had scheduled out for my wins, out of my 4 wins for the day, I do my hardest tasks. I knock out while I'm fresh, while I'm energetic, while I have energy in my life. I don't put that to last because sometimes, you know, how the day goes, you might not ever get to it. So that's the part of my routine. I make sure that I accomplish that task. I stay on that task for about an hour. And I'm going to talk about this as far as setting deadlines and stuff like this a little later on in this broadcast. But I have a schedule. I have a schedule set out to when I work because I know myself. I know when my creativity is working, right? I know when I'm going to be at my peak for the most part in my creativity. So I make sure I schedule my most creative work when I know my energy is going to be high. All right. I make sure that I only schedule for an hour. I personally, and people are different, you know, so there's no right or wrong way. It depends on what works for you. But personally, I don't work more than 60 minutes at a time. So I'll schedule an hour where I'm focused for that hour. Then after that, I'll move on to something else. All right. But develop a routine that works for you. And sometimes it's trial and error. You know, for me, you know, I wasn't a morning person. So my routine was at night. But I realized that didn't work with me having a newborn, with me having, you know, a family. That didn't work. So I had to switch up my routine. So whatever routine works for you, try it out. Trial and error. But get comfortable in that routine because then your life will start to know subconsciously what's coming next. All right. So develop a routine, make a schedule, you know, schedule out your time. You know, if you know you're at work from 9 to 5, you know, you really can't do nothing at that time. Well, maybe you can, it just depends on your job, right? Don't get fired. But have a schedule, right? From 7 to 7:30, I'm doing this. And I know this might seem tedious. I know this might seem kind of dumb, but I'm telling you, developing a routine is probably one of the most important things. Like, I've been around champions, and I don't say this to put myself on a pedestal, but in playing sports, and even now, being around people who are doing things at a high level, one thing that all these people have in common is that they have some type of routine that they do every single day, right? Every single day. Everybody I know that's at a high level, from sports to speaking to whatever it is, it can be somebody who's a great landscape guy, right? They have a routine every single day that they go through. So develop a routine. Trust me, it's very, very key to moving forward with your life. Number 4, actually that was number 4. Number 5, I would encourage you to do this. And I'm preaching to the choir because I had so much trouble with this. Like, I convinced myself that I was only creative at night. So that was my excuse to stay up super late. But I realized I found a lot of beauty in the morning because I told myself I'm just not a morning person. That's just not me. And I'm really still not. But I learned to wake up earlier because of the progression I get with it, because the accomplishments I've gotten since I've been waking up earlier in my life. So number 5, I would challenge you as far as managing your time. I would challenge you to go to bed earlier so you can get up earlier. Okay? And I love getting up earlier. This just might be me, but I love it when I'm walking outside to walk my dog at 5 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning and nobody's out there. Nobody's there. You know, everybody's still asleep. For me, it might be like an ego thing maybe or something like that, but I feel good that I got up before everybody else. It's peace and quiet. I can be with my thoughts. I can go over my game plan for the day. I can get myself ready. Like, I love, and it depends on your schedule again. So I'm not telling you, it depends on your schedule. Maybe this is not possible for you. But if it is, get up earlier because you'll do your best work in the morning. And you can be like me and tell yourself that, nah, I'm not a morning person. I told myself that so much. I made myself a morning person. And I'm glad I did because I get so much more accomplished, all right? So get to bed at a decent hour. Don't stay up to 3 in the morning. You got to get up at 7 o'clock. You have no energy, right? Your tomorrow is going to be less productive than what it would be if you would have went to bed earlier. Make sure you're getting adequate sleep at night. It's very, very important. Trust me, I'm talking to myself because I understand we got creatives out there. When you're creative, it's hard to sleep. When you're creative, sometimes, nighttime is the best time to work. You got to go and your creative juices are flowing. I get that. But try to train yourself, program yourself to be a morning person. Because, again, people that I know that do things at a high level, that are very, very successful, very accomplished in life, that's another thing they have in common. Most of these people, they get up early. And I'm not saying that you have to, but it's just my suggestion as far as managing your time, because I think it just gets your day started better, gets the flow started better, and you can get more things accomplished earlier rather than later, because sometimes we fall into procrastination. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, all right? So we got create a game plan, learn to say no. No cheating, meaning putting away your phone and different things that you might be cheating on. That's even conversations, that's going to watch TV, that's going to surf the internet on your computer, etc. You know your vices, right? You know your vices, so don't put yourself in a position where you even be tempted. All right, go to sleep, develop a routine. Go to sleep earlier, all right, so you can get up earlier. All right, the next one, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6. Set deadlines. Okay, set deadlines. You got to hold yourself accountable. When you have a deadline, it kind of puts a healthy pressure, at least for me, it puts a healthy pressure on my life to get things done. Because if I didn't have a deadline, especially in my position, I can do things when I want to do it. I have nobody telling me that you have to do this by this day. I have nobody looking over my shoulder. I am my own boss, right? I work for myself. So deadlines are very important for me, because if I didn't have deadlines, I probably wouldn't get things done. And I've tried both. I tried the thing where I'm just going to get it done and it'll get finished when it gets finished. And I understand about, not rushing things. I get that too. But deadlines in your mind makes you work more diligently, makes you work more focused, right? You're not quick to procrastinate because you know in your mind that something has to get done. It's like you working at your job, right? And the boss says, look, you have to have this done by this date. You're going to make sure it gets done. So when it comes to yourself, you got to hold yourself just as accountable, because if you're working that hard to meet someone else's deadlines, then you better be working that hard to meet your own with your own life. If you're working that hard to help somebody live their dream and progress their business, you should be working just as hard. All right, to progress your own life, to progress what you got going on. So set some deadlines. And be real, be realistic. Don't set no overnight deadline. Be realistic. And also, if you don't meet your deadline, you don't have to beat yourself up. You're not getting fired, right? It's what you're like. So, but you can use that deadline to say, you know what? I made a lot of progression. And the good thing about it, I can create another deadline to make sure I get this done. But I would encourage you, I would challenge you to set a deadline. Pick something. I don't know what it is for you in your life that you want to get done, accomplished. Pick something, set a deadline. Say, by this date, I want to lose this much weight, right? By this date, I want to write a book. By this date, I want to have this many followers on social media. By this date, whatever it may be. Because then you can operate, right, in a whole different manner. If that makes any sense. You can operate with a whole different type of urgency, a healthy urgency. To get things done, all right? So make sure you set deadlines. Next, number 7. The question I ask myself a lot, and I'm going to ask you this, and this is just a question that will keep you accountable. Number 7, does it move you forward? And I don't want to get under nobody's skin or step on some toes, but I'm going to step on some toes right now. But just being honest, the truth sometimes hurts, but it always helps. But a lot of times, we would rather be, you might have heard me talk about this before. I'm sure you have if you've been following me. Excuse me. We would rather be entertained than educated. And what I mean by that, we would rather spend our time, our precious time, being entertained. And I'm not telling you you can't watch TV. I'm not telling you you can't have fun. It's your life. But the percentage, right? And I'm going to just be real. Results don't lie. They don't. You can't expect full-time results with part-time effort. I want you to really hear that. You can't expect full-time results with part-time effort, meaning that you can't expect your vision to come true, your vision to be your reality, when you spend more time entertaining yourself than you do educating yourself or working towards your vision. Do you understand? Do you get that? All right. So the question that keeps me accountable, I ask myself, Trent, does this move you forward to where you want to go? All right. We talk about time management. You know, this might be kind of maybe harsh to some people, but it's the truth. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And yes, maybe it might be different, right? You might work more than somebody else, but at the end of the day, we all have 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Every single day, no matter what. You're going to have 24 hours if you breathe it or if you live it. The problem is that not everybody, because like I said, some people are actually working, right? But the problem is that some people spend, 70% of their day, 80% of their day, 90% of their day doing things that don't move their life forward. A lot of times doing things that move their life back. Not doing anything that keeps their life still. So that's a question that you should, when you're presented with something, a temptation, you're presented with an opportunity, when you're presented with whatever it may be, the question that you should ask yourself, especially when you're valuing your time and realize how important your time is does this move me forward to where I want to go? Does this move me closer to where I want to be? Is this a part of my game plan? If you want to know an easy way to determine that, go by your standards that you set. Go by the values of your life. That's what I do. I go down my values. If it doesn't match with my values, I don't do it, because I know if I'm doing something outside of my values, it's not going to move my life forward. All right? So think about that question. Make sure you write that down. Does it move your life forward? Number 8, don't do it later. And we've all had those words, right? I'll do it later. I'll go do this right now. I'll do it later. And we put it off. You got to realize when you have a schedule, you put something off, it messes up everything. It messes up the groove. It messes up the vibe. It messes up everything. And sometimes doing it later turns into never getting it done. Procrastination is the killer to all dreams, right? It's not capabilities. It's not talent. A lot of times it's procrastination. Putting off what needs to be done today to tomorrow or to later on. I'll do it later. Get it done now, even when you don't feel like it. That's the thing about success. That's the thing about making it happen. That's the thing about winning these championships. You gotta do things when you don't feel like doing them. To be totally transparent with you, it's times that I don't want to do videos. It is. But then I kick myself in the butt because I know that this is bigger than me. So I get myself in the right mindset to do a video. It's times that I'm tired, I don't want to travel, but I understand the importance of traveling. It's times that I want to work on my book, but I understand the importance of working on my book. It's times I don't want to do this or do that, but I understand the importance and the value of doing it. Success isn't about doing things when it's convenient. Success is about doing things when it's inconvenient, because more than likely, you're not going to always want to do things. All right? So don't tell yourself, I'll do it later. When you start to have that mindset, that should let you know that you need to fight even harder to get it done now. Because later can turn into next year, can turn into 3 years from now, or later can easily turn into you never getting it done. And there's so many people in this world that had dreams and visions and certain things that they start putting off things to, I'll do it later. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. And it never happened. And they stay in that same unhealthy routine in their life that's kept them in the same place. Right? So with your time, respect your time. Don't say I'm going to do it later, because doing it later, if you have a schedule, that means it's going to be disrupting something else that you got going on. Maybe it's family time. Maybe it's free time. And now you're taking away from that. And that's when that balance is key. So don't put off later what needs to be done now, all right? Number 9, build an accountability circle. Somebody that's going to keep you accountable, or people that's going to keep you accountable. So when you don't get something done, because see, some of us, we get to the point where we can be our own accountability. I have a little punishment rule with myself. If I don't get something done, I got to make it up by doing something that I don't like to do. And usually it's some physical activity, like going to run some miles or going to the gym to do like a crazy workout, even if it's a 2 a day or 3 a day, whatever it may be. Something that I really don't want to do. It's more like punishment to me, but it's still making my life better. I always say that's like the best punishment, something that makes you better. But some of us, we don't have that sense of accountability with ourselves. So I would recommend you find an accountability circle or a team or a person that can keep you accountable, that you respect. It's not somebody's going to be a yes man or a yes woman. Not somebody's going to let you slide. They're going to check you. They're going to hit you up. You tell them like, hey, man, hold me accountable to making this happen by this week. They hit you up at the end of the week and y'all talk about it. Maybe you develop a relationship where it's both ways. Not just they're your accountability, but you're their accountability also. Right? So y'all talk about your goals at the end of every week, or you talk about what you got accomplished at the end of every week. Right? And you say, well, you didn't get it done. And so y'all set up some type of punishment, healthy punishment that makes you better, and you got to do it. Because that's going to drive you to start getting things done, because you don't want to be penalized. And it's better to be penalized by a friend or accountability partner than keep procrastinating, you be penalized by life. But sometimes you can't bounce back from that, all right? So develop a team, or even if it's a person, and make sure you talk to this person. Maybe it's every week, maybe it's bi-weekly, but somebody that can check up on you and you respect, and you don't get offended when they call you out on certain things. When they see you, maybe they watch you be on social media 24 hours a day, and then you say, well, I didn't have enough time to get this done, and they check you. They say, well, you had enough time to post 38 posts, you had enough time to like all these things, but you didn't have enough time to get it done. That's the type of accountability partner that you need in your life. That's going to check you when you trip and check you when you slip. All right? So find an accountability partner or team. And last but not least, I think that will help you get the best out of your day, is telling yourself that you're going to win the day. Wake up with that mindset that there's no other option than to win the day. As I said earlier in this broadcast, I have my thing is 4 wins every single day, because if you add up 4 wins every day for the week, for the month, for the year, that's a lot of wins, right? And I know a lot of those wins will make my life better and those around me better if I get those wins in my life at the end of the year. I know I'm going to win a lot of championships by winning every single day. But in my game plan, I make sure that I create wins, all right? Even if it's like a simple win, I make sure in my mind to gain leverage on myself. I make sure that I give myself no other option than to getting it done. Do I fail sometimes? Yes, of course, I'm human, right? Things come up, emergencies come up. We're human. Don't beat yourself up. But at the same time, it's no longer a job for me. It's no longer work for me. It's no longer I have to for me. It's now I want to, because I created a hunger in those wins, right? I gained leverage through those wins to say, like, if I don't win this, then I lose this. If I don't win this, then this doesn't happen. So I have to get this done. Even if it's simple as emailing somebody back, I will find a way, right? Or even if it's simple as, making a video. I create leverage enough to say, if I don't make this video, if I don't have this win today, just think how many lives, right? Somebody out there that might need this message. Just think of how many lives aren't going to be touched if I don't make this. And so that makes me want to do it. So I want to challenge you guys out there watching this. I know this kind of been a different broadcast for me because we're talking through things and I wanted this to be exactly like this. But I want to challenge you guys to win your day, but create some leverage in your life that makes you even hungry to go get it. that makes you hungry to make it happen, that makes you hungry to win these championships in your life, that makes you hungry to stick to a schedule, that makes you hungry to develop a routine. Because see, time management becomes easier. I'm not going to say it's always easy, but it becomes easier when you have a purpose, when you have a vision, when you have things that you know you have to get done in order to get to a certain level in your life. Now, every minute of the day becomes important. Every hour of the day becomes important. Every single day becomes important. So I feel like if you guys develop hunger in your life for something, you will figure out a good schedule for you. You will figure out a way to make it work. You will figure out a way to do a routine. You will convince yourself that you got to go to bed early to get up earlier. You will set deadlines. You will do these things because you know in doing all these things only results in the one thing: championships, baby. Winning championships. Like I said, whatever that looks like for your life, I don't know. Because I don't know who I'm talking to right now. But whatever that looks like in your life, doing all those things will result to that. And it's a list of things that you can do to manage your time better. You know, go Google some things. It's a lot of things, but I guarantee if you apply some of these things to your life, your time will definitely be managed a lot better. It'll definitely put you in a position to win your day. And I think ultimately that's the goal. Because if you win your day, then you start winning your week, you start winning your months, you start winning your years, then I think you become a winner in life. And we're all capable of that. You know, it's not about our capabilities, it's about our mentalities. Life is about our mentalities, not our capabilities, because you're capable, believe that. But once that mentality gets right, once that mentality gets a little bit hungrier, you'll start to do even more incredible things in your life because you're that incredible of a person, okay? So go over these 10, replay this video, figure out ways, you know, hit me up on Snapchat or Instagram, and hopefully I'll see your message on Facebook. If you have any questions, just to reach out. But I want to say I'm proud of you guys. Wherever you're at, I'm proud of you for you watching this. I mean, that's taking a step right there. You know, and while it's on my mind, definitely schedule time every single day for education. And that could be, you know, watching a video of inspiration. That could be learning something to better your craft. That could be reading a book. I would definitely schedule minimum 15 to 20 minutes every single day for that. You know, you can do as much as you want, but I would definitely tell you 15 to 20 minutes, preferably in the morning. Maybe you want to do another session at night. But make sure you spend time educating yourself, because the only way to grow is to obtain knowledge that you don't have, right? You can get knowledge that you don't have through so many avenues. I mean, through conversations, through books. I mean, it's limitless to where you can get knowledge that you don't have from, okay? But make sure you guys do that. I want to take some questions right quick that you guys sent in, and I'm going to answer a few of these questions, and I'm going to get out of here, man, and we'll go on to next week with session 2 with these Google Hangouts. Let me find these questions right quick. I have one right here. Sydney from Washington. She asked, and I'm going to give the answer the best way I can give it. All right? Best way I can give it, just from experience with my life, so I hope it helps. I work crazy hours. How do I make time to better myself? In this broadcast, if you didn't hear me, I said something about it's not about the hours that you work. It's about the work you put in the hours, right? And you can better yourself at any time. You know, bettering yourself doesn't always have to deal with, you know, success in the way that the world sees it, right? Dreams and visions. I mean, taking care of your body, you know, taking care of your mindset, you know, reading during your lunch break. And I understand, like, your hours are crazy, but at the same time, you can still find time. Like, you can find time, even if it's a minute, even if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes, whatever it may be, to progress your life, because nothing's going to happen overnight. Yeah, while you working crazy hours, maybe some things will be a slower process, or the progression will be a little bit slower than if you didn't work crazy hours, but that doesn't mean you can't progress. That doesn't mean you can't grow. So I would say, you know, find the time that you do have. And that's even more more of a reason to go harder during that time. And it takes sacrifice. See, it's not going to be easy. It takes sacrifice. It takes hard work. It takes sacrifice. So you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Maybe it is getting up a little bit earlier, and you still might be a little bit tired because you're working crazy hours. But you just got to ask, how bad do you want whatever it is on your heart? All right, how bad do you want that? And so just remember, even doing your job, you can spend that time working on yourself, right? Talking to yourself. Maybe, I don't know, I don't know what job you work. I don't know how much, how lenient your job is, but, reading books, doing certain things, in your mind, like I'm a thinker all the time. So whenever I'm doing something, even if I'm not here, I'm always thinking, whether it be of a video, whether it be of a quote, whether it be of something to better myself. Maybe another workout strategy. How can I make my health better? How can I become a better father, a better husband? How can I become better at all these things? And to me, finding those answers will help better your life. I hope I answered a little. I hope I helped you a little bit, Sydney, with that question. Let me take a few more. Rod from Richmond, he asked, if I find myself being distracted, is there a strategy I can use to find my focus, or is that impossible? One thing that I do when I'm being distracted is that, first of all, I create enough hunger in my life to know when I'm being distracted and to know that it's not healthy to stay there. And so I've trained myself literally when I'm getting off course, when I'm doing something, whether it be on social media so much, like on my phone, literally I'll feel like, okay, well, you're on here way too long. All right, you need to get off, because if you stay on here all day, guess how much you're losing. You're not gonna win the day. Guess how much people aren't gonna be benefited because you're spending all your time with your distraction. So it makes me sharpen my focus. So Rod, I will encourage you to find leverage in your life, to find something, all right, that makes you want to get out of distraction real quick. Whatever it may be for you, it can be to the extreme, but find something that makes you want to get out of distraction real quick and back to work. And like I said, maybe it's, I'm not going to be nothing with my life if I stay here and just entertain my distractions. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I know if I told myself that, that will get me out of that distraction real quick. All right, so find leverage, create leverage inside of you that makes you get out of that distraction. I hope that helped a little bit. We'll take one more question. I seen one. Let me see. Sherry from Dallas. What's up, Sherry? I'm a single parent with a full-time job. How do I focus on me without feeling like I'm being unfair to my kids with my time? That's tough. I've definitely been in that situation. And I had a conversation with my son, and he understood the sacrifices that I had to make, but also too, I had to realize what was important. I told myself at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when I'm on my deathbed, what's going to really matter? And what really matters to me is the love of my kids. But at the same time, I know I have to provide for them. I know I have to give them more, so when I leave this earth, they're able to survive. And not just more financially. That's probably the least thing that I'm worried about, but more spiritually, more mentally, pouring into them, pouring into their lives. So when I'm gone, they can still survive. So I would tell you this. You focusing on you is not being selfish unless you focusing on you has no effect on their future at all. And what I mean by that is that if you're spending all time focusing on you and it doesn't benefit them it doesn't benefit them at all, and I would tell you that's being unfair to your kids. But when you're focusing on you will make them better, then you have nothing to feel guilty about, because you're becoming a better you for them. And so that's the mindset that I sit in. So when I go places and I travel and I do all these things, and my son misses me now. My little daughter, she's a baby, so she doesn't know yet. But when she gets older, when she misses me, I can tell myself that and sincerely tell myself that I'm doing these things for them. But at the same time, I do make the sacrifice to step back at times and say, okay, well, let me give them more of me because they've sacrificed so much and allowed me to do all these things with my life. So it's about finding a balance. I'm never going to say you're going to find actual balance in it, but it's about finding a balance, somewhat of a balance that you can go back and forth. And as long as you're investing in your daughter, Sherry, or your kids, excuse me, you have nothing to feel guilty about. All right. Let's take one more. I think I said that the last one for real. One more. Okay, I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to find questions that are not the same. Okay, Abigail from Jersey City. She asked, or he, I'm sorry, he or she. How can I set goals better so I can prioritize my daily schedule to reach them? Sometimes I feel stuck. I talked about earlier about setting goals to make sure you win, right? And I would tell you to do something in the morning that makes you feel accomplished. If you listened to me earlier, I talked about going outside and dunking the basketball. That gives me an energy. It puts me in a different mindset. It makes me feel accomplished. So now reaching my goals becomes a lot easier. All right, becomes a lot easier. And so I wouldn't be so hard on yourself, Abigail, but I would tell you to start off by just setting some goals that you can accomplish. All right, don't set some crazy goal. I know I said set your hardest goal first, which I feel like out of whatever, however you set your goals, I think that's still important. But what I want you to do is set some things up that you can win. All right, small little goals that you can win that don't take a lot of your time, right? Because I feel like winning and accomplishment becomes contagious. It becomes a part of your lifestyle, becomes a part of who you are, becomes a part of your identity. When you start to win, it becomes very what's the word I'm looking for? You get a lot of momentum. You get a lot of momentum. So Abigail, I would just definitely make sure I'm answering your question. Because you say sometimes you feel stuck, and I've been there before. That's a natural feeling. I get there sometimes with my life, but when I feel stuck, and this might be totally off topic though, when I feel stuck, sometimes I step away. I don't force it at times, Sometimes I step away and I go do something, and then I come back to it because I don't want to force things also to where it's not authentic. I know it's a fine line between working through inconvenience and forcing something. All right, you have to determine that line for yourself. But when you feel stuck, just go do something that makes you feel accomplished to get you out of that rut because you're just in a rut because you have the capabilities, you have the talents. I'm sure you have the mindset. Just do something to get you out that rut. And I feel like once you get that accomplishment back in your bloodstream, that I just accomplished something, that winning state of mind, that championship mode state of mind, then I feel like you will break free from certain things and you won't be so stressed out with your goals. All right. So I hope that helped a little bit, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're in about 50 minutes, almost to an hour. I'll be with Hangout number 2. Thank you guys again for the support. I really appreciate you guys. I'm thankful for you guys. And I'll talk to you guys soon, man. Make sure you stay connected with me on all the social sites. It's rehab time. Let's get it. Have a great week. All right. Make this week the best week of your life when it comes to time management, when it comes to getting things done. All right. Make sure you set some wins. All right. Win it all. Championships. Let's get it.